In this session, we're going to discuss the basic parts of an inventory card. So from my enterprise setup, we're going to pull up our inventory and we're going to go to inventory materials. Now we're going to have a separate training sessions on all the different features such as batch updating, importing, things like that. Okay, how to export out to Excel. Right now we want to be concerned with what's a basic inventory card look like and what are all the different parts of it. So what I'm going to do here is let's go up and just add a part. So our inventory cards at the enterprise are a little bit limited. In other words, there's certain features that you're not going to be able to utilize at the enterprise. Okay. Those features would be used exclusively at the locations. So step one on an inventory card is placing the product. Where am I going to park it? Under what profit center and service category. Now, if I'm going to enter, let's say, a new oil filter, I'm going to put that under oil lube maintenance. I don't want to put this under tires. Okay. Why do I want to park it in the proper category? Well, that is going to make it easier to search and to update at the location. Okay. And what we'll do is we're going to go out to a work order here in a little while, and I'll show you how that'll work. A definition is going to be the part definition that ties it to the part lines on service packages. So if I want to go put in an oil filter, I need to go find that part definition. I'm going to hit the binoculars and I'm going to search for it in the part terminology catalog. So this is an oil filter. I'm going to hit search, see what comes up. Well, let's see. It's not a differential oil filter. It is an engine oil filter. This is probably one of the hardest things for people to grasp at the very beginning. And really the easiest way to do that is to actually go look at the service package lines and you can see what definitions are in there. You won't be using definitions for all parts that go into inventory. It's just going to be the main parts listing that are tied to the service packages. Your next item is going to be your part number. So let's say it's a 21135 and then a description. Description, you do want to be kind of consistent on these descriptions. It is an oil filter. Now, if you want to put in something else, like maybe it's an oil filter for a Lexus or a Toyota or something, you certainly can. But consistency does make it easier to search. You can enter manufacturer if you wish. So I might say, well, this is a Toyota number, for example. A code. You can code the product. Sometimes people will put line codes here. Yeah, you can use whatever you want. Code is used to search with, so you can use codes to search. Okay. So put whatever you like in a code. Let's just say it's a TO for line code, and then a size. Typically, most product that goes in the materials, you won't put a size until you start getting in the tires, wheels, and then you can put the tire sizing in. We're going to deal with tires here in a little bit. Unit conversions, how am I buying and selling? Again, is it going to be buy one, sell one? Is it going to be buy a case, sell it by the unit, buy it by the box? How am I going to do that? So if I'm going to buy it a different way, I just simply select the conversion and then I must put the factor in. In other words, how many units are in that case? I'm going to leave this on 1 for 1. Sell fractions. You do have the capability of selling anything you want in a fractional quantity in here. Okay. If you're not sure and you kind of doubt, doesn't hurt to check the box. Okay. And a good rule of thumb to use here, if it's a liquid or a linear, check the box. Okay. That way you don't go wrong. If you never use it, that's okay, but at least you'll have it set. Type would be Is this an item that I purchase and sell? That's inventory. Is it an item that I get on loan and sell? That's a consigned item. So that would be a consignment. System does track consignment separately from inventory. You can, at the enterprise, put in a min-max or a low-high. This is used for inventory reorder sheets at the location. Now, typically, most people will set this at the location, and the reason is different locations are going to have different needs. Core unit will be if this product has a core on it, typically it's 1 for 1. The only time you ever really need to change this would be a situation where it takes more than 1 unit to equal a single core. A good example of that would be refrigerant. Sometimes suppliers will charge a core on the bottle. So let's say I am buying and selling refrigerant. I might buy it by the cylinder and sell it by the pound. So I tell the system, well, how many pounds are in a cylinder? So now I need to tell the system, if I'm going to have a core, how many units does it take to make a single core? So it would actually be 30 to 1. So for every 30 pounds I sell, it'll put 1 bottle core in the returns bin. That's how that works. Let's go set this back. Lock sell price. This is probably the most misunderstood item in here. Lock sell price means if I check this box, I control the cost and sell of this item at the enterprise. I control the cost and sell of this item at the enterprise. It can't be changed at the location. Okay, so as time goes by, if you want to change the selling price, you're going to have to do it at the enterprise. You also will need to keep up with the cost at the enterprise. Now, at the location, they can receive product at a different cost, but it'll stay locked until you change it. Enable online catalog. What that is for is people that have their own online catalogs, so other shops can actually go into the inventory and order direct out of the inventory. Line grouping is typically used at the location. This is put in so you can track particular items and you can make line groups for particular types of items. And then you can pull reports. The pricing. So here you would set what is the cost of the product. I'm going to put my cost in. Let's just say it's $5. And if there is a core value, then you would put it in. So there's my cost. Now you can also enter MSRP if you wish to work off of MSRP. That's going to be this box here. So let's say my MSRP is $11.50. And also a core if you had that. Your next step would be to set your selling prices. Now, whether you have it locked or not, you can still set the selling price here, and then when it's sent up to the location, they'll have their selling price, and then they can always override it there if it's not locked. So since I have 2 prices here, I have a retail and a fleet, I can simply click on it, edit the sell price. So you have a lot of different ways you can set these selling prices. You can do it on a fixed price. That just means it's going to stay fixed no matter what happens to the cost. So if I say it's $8, the system will always let you know what the gross profit margin is. Now, the reason why we do that is because when you're in the work orders and you're looking at your profit analysis and you're looking at your reports, Everything's measured in a gross profit margin. You can do a cost plus or minus percentage. So if I do a cost plus 50, it's a 33% margin. I can do a cost plus or minus dollars. So I might say cost plus $5. There you go. I can do a MSRP. So when I do this one, that's a percentage, positive or negative. See, I might do an MSRP minus 10. I can do MSRP plus or minus whole dollars, or a gross profit margin. So if I say, well, I want to do this at a 55% margin, there's my price. So what if on the fleet price, I'm going to give them MSRP minus 20? So I click on this one, edit, MSRP minus 20. And now I have my selling prices. This default sell price would typically be used if you only have one price level. And then you can actually go set it here and it'll automatically track down to here. But since I have two different price levels, I find it's best to go set them each separate. Now there is an advanced editing tool back here. You can edit sell price, costs, and MSRP. What this is for is you can actually set it up to change the price on a different date. So here I am on August the 11th, setting it up at 11:50, okay? That MSRP. So what if my vendor says, well, look, come September 1, the MSRP is going up to $12. Well, then I can change it. And I can edit that, hit OK. So now on the 1st of September, the system will automatically raise that MSRP to $12. And remember, I can do this with sell price, cost, or MSRP. I can do any and all. General, go back to general. If you kind of remember from an earlier session, we had inventory attributes. And what we were doing was we were talking about how the attributes go out to the locations. Now, if I enter an attribute here, it's only going to work here. It will not work at the location. So I can go in and put an alternate number here for these different locations, but it does not work at the location. So I have to go set the attributes at the locations. So once I have the card in, I hit save, and then the system will send it out to the locations. Now when it comes to tires, let's go talk about tires. And we'll go pull up some tires here. You'll notice on my tires, I have a size here. Now I don't have slashes, I don't have R's, don't have P's, none of that. It's just the size. Okay. If you want to put it all in, you certainly can. Or you can put just the size in. Now the benefit to this is that when I'm in a work order and I'm looking for tires, it'll automatically look for all tires of that size or that whatever particular size it's looking for. The other thing you do want to keep in mind when entering inventory, and this is real important, that you put your parts in the proper categories. In other words, I wouldn't take a tire and put it under oil lube maintenance. And the reason for that is when I'm searching from a work order for inventory, it will automatically go to the specific category for depending on the type of part you're looking for. So let's save this. Let's go over to a location, see what happens. So here I am in a work order, and I need to go looking for a tire for this vehicle. So when I right click and go to the catalog, first thing the system's going to ask me is what size tire. Am I looking for a factory tire, or maybe I want to manually enter a tire? I'm going to go look for this tire here. I hit OK. It will typically launch my online connections, but you see I can also go straight to inventory. And if we look, see it searched in that category, because that's where that package came from. There's the size of the tire. But you see what it did here in my inventory. See, pulled up all the tires of that size. That makes it really easy to search for things in here. So those are some of the little things you want to remember about entering inventory. Again, we're going to have a separate training tours on all the different features that are in the enterprise to be able to do batch updates, imports, things like that. That's a basic inventory card.